Spawnily is the premier podcast spotlighting people of color. Every week, we talk news, what we've been playing, and tell you who's invited to the cookout. Our show is all about talking about gaming through a prism of blackness, because we are the culture. Welcome to Bukkake, y'all.
What up, everybody on the Spawn on Me podcast. I'm your host, Kahlief. Hope you're doing really well. We have a banger of an episode tonight to bring to you, episode 432. If you missed our last episode, you missed a dope, fantastic conversation with our friend from Xbox, Albert Donkwa, talking about his journey in the gaming industry. Really inspirational stuff if you're thinking about the transition of moving into the gaming industry, trying to find good ways to do good work within that space. Please go check that out and go subscribe, go give us 5-star reviews, all that good stuff there. We also have our new NBCLX show that we're doing alongside the Fan Control Football League called The People's Pregame. I am your hostess with the mostest, bringing you live dope stuff in audio and video form on NBCLX and Peacock TV. So please make sure you're checking that out and giving it some love. But this week is all about our fantastic guest. You know, we're ending out Women's History Month, and we want to rep and give, you know, this fantastic person some love. I came across her work while checking out some content creators who I've been checking out and making sure I'm digging into the stuff that they're doing. And she is a part of this fantastic program from McDonald's called The Future 22. And I want to give you a little bit of context for it with this fantastic video that they sent over. And then we'll talk to our guest, Marcyssa Horizem Brown, right after this.
I'm Kiki Palmer. Marcyssa Brown, aka Horizem, is a 24-year-old female gamer on Twitch and content creator who is not only creating the game, she's changing it. Check out Horizem as McDonald's shines the spotlight on this young woman leading the way for female gamers everywhere.
I was never really into video games growing up. I was more of a reader, but I had a console in my house in college, and I started playing it, and I was like, wow, this is so fun. I've been playing video games ever since. I've always really liked being good at things, but I was like, maybe this is just like something I'm supposed to be doing. Like, why am I so good? That was really the start of everything. Change is extremely important in this community right now. The whole community is so male prevalent. They're like, girls can't play games. Well, I can play a game, and I show that every day. But I'm also a black female gamer, which there's so little of. So I try to represent myself in the best way and try to be a role model as much as possible. It's a big responsibility, but I keep my camera on, I be myself, and I make sure that I'm being a role model to other black girls who want to just be themselves, because it's really scary for them to try to do that because there's no one to look up to, which is crazy. So to be able to look up to a female and to be able to talk to her and ask her advice, that's what I'm trying to do. I actually have a hashtag that I've been using. It's Rise Up, R-I-Z-E, because Horizem. We're here to rise up through the challenges that we're going to be facing. I'm going to help be the role model that everyone wants. My name's Horizem. I'm black and positively golden, and I'm changing the future.
I'm Kiki Palmer, and I'm so inspired by McDonald's Future 22. 22 dynamic black leaders that are changing the future. Don't miss their stories on Instagram @WeAreGolden.
Please welcome to the show, Marcyssa Horizem Brown. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Glad to be here.
So I am super excited. First of all, it is pretty dope to be able to have Kiki Palmer be the person who is introducing you to the larger world in this way. I want to talk a little bit about, kind of from the start, you know, you talked a little bit about in that piece about, you know, how you got into gaming, you know, what was the kind of initial layers of you kind of coming to the industry in this way. For the folks that may not necessarily see that piece of the video, or, you know, want to know more about you, how did you get into the space? When did you start becoming a gamer? When did you start becoming a person in the space?
Oh yeah, so I was really never into gaming as a child. Like, my brothers had consoles, but I was like, I'm gonna read. But there was a console in my house in college, and I got a game, and I just like fell in love with it. And my school at the time was trying to like get into the esports scene, so they held an esports class. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this. After that, playing some games and like that esports class, I was like, this is amazing. I didn't even know this was like a world, an avenue that you could take. And after that, it was just kept doing it.
Yeah, so you've been streaming and playing and gaming for how long now? I know it's weird because the times are just like flipping all the time. How long have you been streaming and been a content creator?
I think it's been around 2.5 years. I think it's been around that. Right before the pandemic started, a couple months before that. That's when I started.
Oh wow, that's fantastic. So you're really new to the space in that way, for sure. How has your journey been so far? 2 years sounds like a short amount of time, but in the streaming space, that's a very long time to kind of like be in the mix and learning about the process and all of that. You know, how's your first 2 years been within the space and getting your feet wet into it?
It's kind of been crazy because I really didn't know what to expect when I started. I kind of had a quick start because I started on a platform that's no longer here, Mixer. But then I switched to Twitch and it started going slow again. And it was like, streaming is so up and down. It's just like you have a great set a couple of months and then it slows down again. So I would have to say it's kind of been crazy, but there's been so many crazy experiences that I can't ever think of stopping streaming because those experiences are so like thrilling. Like the streaming's brought me here. Like insane.
I mean, look, your hard work is what got you here. You're busting behind and making sure that you're, representing for all the folks within our communities and doing it so well and so amazingly is one of the reasons why McDonald's picked you for their Future 22 and seeing them, have you connected to this program. What was it like when you were doing your thing and you got that email that was like, hey, McDonald's wants to spotlight you and the work that you've been doing?
When McDonald's emailed me, when I got the call to try out for it, to try to get onto this, I was shocked. I was like, there's finally what I've been doing is being recognized. Just being recognized is like, for Future 22 means all my hard work I've been doing has I'm finally being given the platform to show what I want to do and to do what I want to do. So it's crazy.
Yeah. So you get called up for McDonald's, they bring you in, you're now a part of this program alongside all these other fantastic creators. What's the thing that when you're thinking about, you as now an ambassador within this particular space, that you want to get, kind of towards the forefront? I think, we all as content creators and folks who are in the streaming spaces have lots of different things that we're always trying to pull from and be attached to and kind of use our voices for that larger platform that we've been given. I loved you talking about your hashtag Rise Up and the work you're doing there. I'd love to hear you expand a little bit more about some of the things you're hoping to kind of bring to the forefront underneath that hashtag.
So with this new platform that I have, I always felt very strongly over the fact that female gamers and even gamers of color have not been represented in the gaming field enough in the spotlight. So I'm really hoping to just advocate for female gamers, advocate for gamers of color, and kind of amplify our voices. And I want us to be heard. I want us to be seen. And I'm really hoping that this platform gives me the chance to really advocate for that.
Yeah, I think one of the cool things about, seeing you in the space and continuing to see, you grow. I've been sneaking in and watching some of the streams and being like, oh, this is great. This is fantastic. Has been, bridging that gap that we see not only within the visibility layer of seeing Black and brown folks and especially Black and brown women in this space, but especially within the esports space, which has none of us in it in a real way, right? Yeah. You have a couple of folks who are at the top, heading up, some esports organizations, but when it comes to the conversation of, us having a visible light in the space as competitors, it's very, very rare to see us unless we're in the fighting game community. And you, as a person who in the shooter space, is definitely hardly anybody there. You know, what have been your thoughts about, the current state of the space, folks that you think are really interesting to watch or folks that you are fans of, and what the space could be doing better to kind of make sure that we are getting that seat at the table?
Yeah. So I always like to talk about, as a child, even though I wasn't in the gaming space, I knew about the gaming space, and I assumed it wasn't for me, because where was the female gamers? Where was the black gamers? I guess that's not for me, because there is no one. This is for not me. So now growing up, I know that there is a space. It's just not being seen. It's just not being seen. There's actually so many female and gamers of color who are trying to be seen for other females and gamers of color, and they're trying their hardest and they're doing well. I mean, I have you can see the big male streamer Swag, who's doing so much as he can for the people of color in his community. I mean, I was part of this thing he picked 3 underrated people of color to promote and to spotlight, and I was part of that. And that's just amazing that he was able to do that. And then there's females who are just trying to be themselves as much as possible. I know someone called Merc by the Skirt, who love Merc by the Skirt. She has such a hard life, but she gets on stream and she makes everyone smile. I literally refresh her page waiting for her to come on. It makes me so happy to watch her stream. So I know that there's going to be a space, and it's coming, and we're coming, but it just needs to be done as fast as possible, because we need these young kids to look up and be like, wow, I can do that. I can do that because I see them doing it. So
yeah, I rock with that, because that's one of those things of, this is the reason why, our show exists, was to kind of give that space to be able to give people a vision of like what it could be for them, being able to do some of this work. We talked a little bit about, the Future 22, talked a little bit about, you growing up and getting into the space. What are some of the games you're rocking right now? What are the things that are making you the most excited when you do turn on your stream to get into the games you've been playing? I
mean, I play Warzone. I'm a Warzone streamer. I play it competitively. That's my whole thing. I'm a competitive Warzone streamer. One of the best mouse and keyboard female competitive streamers. There's like no mouse and keyboard in Call of Duty. So I like to say that, mouse and keyboard guys. I play Warzone competitively. I pretty much play like 4 to 5 tournaments a week, and that like really keeps me going, like the competitive sense. And then I also play Apex on the side, trying to get masters at the moment. I'm diamond, well, almost diamond, like 50 points off. So I just like to do that for the funsies. But yeah, Warzone, Apex, that's what I've been doing pretty much.
Oh, that's great. I mean, I know I am bad at mouse and keys. I will say it out loud. I am not good at mouse and keys. I'm trying. So I may have to bug you for some tips and tricks on how to get better on the mouse and key side. But I also want to dig into, besides the layer of you being in that space to see that work happen, as an industry too, I think we're growing, right? Where we're seeing more women in the space. We're seeing more femmes in the space. We're seeing more LGBTQ folks in the space. We've seen this kind of confluence of a lot of people coming into the space and growing alongside it. How are you and your peers talking about this kind of next layer, right? Where, a lot of the conversations we saw prior to, this generation getting into gaming was very, very much this, like, you can't play with us, you can't rock with us and come into our space. But that seems like it's opening up in a good way. Are you seeing that as well across, your peers and folks that are in the space who are now kind of in this newer generation of gamer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that. So I specifically know the Warzone community a lot. Yeah. You look into that community, a lot of the female gamers are really making a name for themselves, really actually being picked up before other male gamers, which you would have never thought about years ago, because women can't game. That was the thing. But we definitely can because we're dominating the scene. I know many female gamers who I would 100% pick up over a lot of the other pros. So we're definitely showing that we're good enough. There are female gamers in the big 50K, 100K tourneys that are being put in there before other people. And I definitely think that it's not going to be long before we see just as many females in the competitive sense as males.
Are you all having conversations as well around, how to help each other grow? I think that's always a really interesting conversation that I don't necessarily ever see in the male dominated side of the industry, because it is still male dominated in a lot of different ways, which is, not what we want to see. But do you feel like there are conversations happening within your peer group of folks being like, look, I just had this kind of placement in this tournament. Here's the things you should be paying attention to. Here's how you grow your brand. Here's how you connect with all these other folks. Are you all doing that as well in terms of having those layers of communication across yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, most definitely. I mean, personally, I have somebody in my community who, she's amazing. She's around 18. She just wanted to start getting into the gaming community and she didn't know how. She was like, I want to start competing. I really want to like get myself out there. And I tried my hardest to like help her set up her stream, try to get her connections, try to just be like, just put yourself there forward. Just like, you can do it. Like, just say you can do it and you can do it. And she's been doing amazing so far. Like the connections she's made, I'm so proud of her. So we definitely do it. We have like big like Twitter like DMs together, and we're all just like being like, you can do it, just you got this, just put yourself out there. It's really empowering.
That's dope. I mean, that's one of the things that I've been hoping to see too, is like, I think that's one of those moments where we get a lot of folks together to say like, no, there isn't just like a small enclave of us. Like there are actually lots of us getting it in and making it happen. But before I pivot back to more around the Future 22 project, because I want to hear more thoughts about like, what are the next steps for you within that program and how they're kind of fleshing it out. I do want to talk about you trying to get picked up by FaZe, which I think is also really, really dope. I think, you were in the FaZe top 100, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, top 100.
Talk a little bit about that. I think that's super dope to be able to hear you talk about, and I've seen the excitement that you've had on Twitter and on your streams about, potentially being a part of FaZe. Talk a little bit about what that journey has been like too.
Yeah. So they put out the recruitment challenge, and I don't know, I think you'd be crazy not to go for something so insane. I mean, FaZe is FaZe. Like that is one of the number one gaming organizations in the world. And especially with those winnings, the $1 million and the $250,000 signing bonus. So I wanted to go for it last time for the FaZe 5, but I thought I wasn't good enough. I thought I wasn't big enough. And I still had those feelings for this time, but I was like, I'm just going to do it. I put my whole all into the first video and I made it the top 100. And I was just so shocked. I was like, okay, I got this. So after getting in the top 100, I've just since then just believed that I can do it. And I put my whole all into the next two videos. And now I'm waiting to see if I get in top 20, which I hope I will. I believe I will. So yeah, it's been a crazy experience so far.
That's awesome. How's the kind of, FaZe community come to, you putting your name in the hat? Has it been pretty positive so far?
It's been really positive. I mean, I feel like everyone's been positive towards everyone in the whole top 100. They're all extremely nice and we all talk and it's awesome.
That's great. I mean, I know how hard it is to potentially get into an esports org. It is not easy. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of dedication, and it takes a lot of patience to be able to, be in that stacked level of competition. I know you talked a little bit about, playing Warzone professionally. I know you talked a little bit about playing Apex. Any other games as well that are kind of like piquing your interest? Because we're in the best time right now. There are so many good games out. Any other games that you're thinking about kind of dipping your toes into and playing a little bit?
Well, I am in love with battle royales. Like any battle royale that comes out, I've tried every single one you can think of as soon as it comes out. There's a new game coming out that I really, really hope. It's always a hope that a new battle royale actually like gains popularity, because it's either they're popular or they're not. They could still be good if it's popular or not. There's a new game called it's some Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I played that a little while back when it was still like in testing, and I loved it. So hopefully, I know it just came out again for testers. Hopefully that Blood Hunt. I think that's what it's called.
Oh yeah, yeah. Blood Hunt looks really, really interesting from this like vampire-esque battle royale kind of deal. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to play it, but I've seen some folks stream it, which looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I hope it gains some popularity, because I think it's a pretty good game, to be honest.
That's awesome. Before we let you go, because the time has flown by. I want to talk a little bit more about the Future 22 project and what are the conversations you're all having from the McDonald's side, talking to them as a creator to say, we want to grow this. We want to give you more of a spotlight. What's the next layers that you're all kind of engaging with the brand to kind of push the conversation forward for the rest of the 22 project?
So right now we're just promoting the video in general. I have like a lot of like social media posts going out, just like showing like who I am, because not a lot of people know who I am yet. So they got to watch the video first, because I really think it shows a good taste of like who I am and what I'm doing. And I know there's a lot of things coming up that we might be doing. So I think you're going to see a lot more of me coming from that point. Yeah.
Nice. I mean, they got to hook you up with some food too, right? They got to hook you. Did they hit you with like the platinum Mickey D's card? You just were like, wherever you go, you're like, bang, just hit me with nuggets whenever I want it.
Not yet, but I love nuggets, so.
Come on, Mickey D's, you gotta hook sis up with the platinum VIP card. Come on, you gotta make it happen. You gotta make it happen for sure. Oh my goodness. I am excited to see what the next layers of this are going to be for you. My fingers are crossed that you get into phase. I think that'll be a huge look, not only for you, but for the community at large, to have someone as dope as you within their ranks and rocking and clicking heads all day and making all that happen for sure. So before we let you go, I got to give you the stage to let everybody know where they can find you, they can find your work and all the good stuff that they're working on. So let the folks know where they can check out more of your work.
Okay, so my handle on Twitch is Horizem, and then my handles on Twitter and Instagram are HorizemTTV. I do tweet a lot, so make sure to go follow that and get more information on me. Also, if you want to learn a little bit more about like the whole thing I did with McDonald's and the Future 22, make sure to go follow @WeAreGolden on Instagram and check out the remaining of the Future 22s, because they're all amazing on McDonald's YouTube channel.
Fantastic. Again, you got to go check out the fan. Make sure you're repping super hard. We got our fingers crossed for you. I'll be the first to rock my Horizem Phase 1 jersey when it goes down and it happens for real. So again, make sure you're checking out and looking up more of the work that she's doing and the wonderful stuff that McDonald's is doing under We Are Golden. So make sure you're checking that out as well for sure. Bricago, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.